Never mind. Here, let me give you the link to the Twitch so you can see the video, I guess.
Okay. That video took a long time to load. I guess don't upload 1080p videos to anyone.
Let me know when you see your video live. It's on pause right now.
I see it.
Okay. So let me ask you this: do you just want your diva, do you just want the diva commentary, or do you want like an overall commentary on how to improve?
Both can work actually.
Sorry, what was that?
Like overall commentary would actually work.
Okay.
Fine.
So on this map, I did watch this already, but there are a few things that I did notice is you don't use your mic at all.
Like I didn't use my mic in this video. Yeah. Like I didn't record my mic at all, but like yeah. I don't know what.
So with this team,
Yeah, I saw already saw.
yeah. So with this team comp, well, with this team comp, you pick diva, but I think the better option would be to play hog here, because you guys are running. It wouldn't make sense to run double shield only because you guys aren't pushing a cart, so you're defending it. So if you played hog, you can actually hook an enemy closer to the bastion, and then bastion can actually kill him off, but instead you're gonna play diva.
I know I don't trust my hog.
That's fine. You can just learn to work on him a little bit.
Yeah. Like in off tanks, I usually play like diva and wrecking ball. I didn't play wrecking ball in this war, not at all.
So in this meta, it might change soon, but Zarya is pretty powerful in this meta right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I miss doing shit around here. Yeah.
But I think you guys are put in a tough situation because your team comp was not great.
Maybe. I think I lost this match.
This one, no, I think you won both of the matches, and this one you guys barely won though.
Yeah. Okay, that's a bad E right there. Yeah.
It's real. I mean, this is fine. I just be careful because they're charging ults off of you too, and this one's that was a good finish right there too. It's hard to tell where your Orisa's set up right now. Oh, so right here.
Yeah, I waste my thing.
Yeah, so right here, Hog is pulling your Moira. So what you want to do is just either walk up to him or to go and boost into him, because if you boost in him, he might be able to fall off. Plus, if you DM and boost into him, then you might be able to save Moira. So you want to try and body block your team as much as possible as an off tank. I hear you did a good finish too. So I don't know that you needed to use your booster in there, because if you see, you probably could have just walked right in, but you're at like half health right now, and you don't have a way to escape if you did need it. And right here, like, you used it, so you're on cooldown. You couldn't have escaped, and you just lost your mech. So there, though, I think you didn't really have a choice, but instead of like trying to fight them and going into this room, just back it up back here. I think your Rissa's playing back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so your Rissa's definitely playing back there, and you guys just... Luckily, your team is kind of holding on a little bit.
Road behind, guys. Come on, open your fucking eyes.
I tend to use tab too much.
Here you do a pretty good job of standing in front of your Moira, so you're body blocking her pretty well. But here, you needed to fall back, for sure. Instead of trying to fight and get your mech back, you need to just fall back, because your entire team is basically down.
Yeah.
Yeah, so instead just fall all the way back, because this cart still needs to push all the way over, and it probably won't even cap until your team comes back anyway. So just instead of wasting or charging their ults, just go all the way back. So now you guys are staggered a little bit. So here, I wouldn't even bother going out there. This is good that you guys, your McCree was able to flash him and you were able to kill him. So there again, you could have boosted in when he pulled him in. Right here, as soon as he pulls in, just boost in with your DM on, and it just reflects any possible damage he could do to your Bastion. I did really like that you do finish off your kills with melee. I think a lot of divas don't do that, so that's really good that you were able to do that.
Well, sometimes I tend to use melee too much.
Well, from this video, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
So here, I think you finish him off with a melee.
Used to happen a lot more. Like I would have fist fights going on. It's fine. I didn't even bother to shoot there.
So, if you're out of mech and you have a Mercy that's alive, you gotta use your mic and just tell her to damage boost you so you can get your mech faster.
Yeah.
You're also playing Diva, which is not a bad pick if they have a Pharah, but you haven't contested the Pharah at all, except for this last, like in a little bit, I think you fly over to contest her. But just get in the habit, if you don't have a team that can go after Pharah, you only have McCree, that's partially your job to just boost up there and just annoy her a little bit. So here you guys kind of won the fight, but you're still playing on cart. You really don't need to play on cart. You can push all the way to the choke. I'll just show you that right now. So your entire team right now is, there's only one person alive. Your entire team, and you can tell your team with your mic just to push forward. Like right here. I know you're out of mech, but your team can actually you have to be aggressive and tell your team to play this choke right here. If you play this choke, it doesn't allow the team to come in. It stalls them a little bit. So this is, like, once you guys win the fight, every time you win a fight you want to push forward. But your team is playing behind cart, which isn't ideal, because now you don't know what direction they're going to come up top or the bottom. You just want to play the choke so you can see exactly where they're coming in from. And here you probably shouldn't have engaged anyways, because you don't have a mech yet. You needed to play Farb.
Yeah. seriously?
Did you, at this point, do you guys have a main? Oh no, you guys don't have a main tank. I would say like after you don't, the other thing you don't do is you don't press tab enough, so you don't actually like know who's on the other team unless you encounter them. I would press tab more often so you can pay attention to their team changes. I think they're running just a hog as their main tank right now. So you guys kind of lucked out to be able to play D.Va and Hammond. If they had two tanks, then I would probably switch. If your Hammond doesn't switch, then I would switch to a main tank. There, you press tab. You press tab when you die, basically.
Like, my tab press usually aren't like. That's the bad thing about me. Like, I usually press tab to just see the medals and such. Like, and how.
Yeah, you wanna get in the habit of pressing tab, especially if you're D.Va, because then you can see like where your team ult's at, and you can combo with them. So say you had like a Rein, and your Rein is like at 70%. You know that you should just wait to use your ult until Shatter's up, so that you guys can combo the Shatter and the D.Va bomb. So right here, you guys are very lucky that they're only running like a hog as their main tank, and that's probably why they end up losing. And what is that? Their only healer's a Zen too? Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
And here your team engages, but you guys lost a point. You guys shouldn't even push up, just fall back. You want to use this choke right here.
Do I use my ult here? I probably use my ult here.
You want to play this choke here and let the team push up this way.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you use your ult here.
No, I won't.
Oh, here you go.
Yep. I see the positioning. And there I go. Bad ult. No one dies.
I wouldn't say it's a bad ult, but I think you need to get in the habit of just saying you're gonna ult if, you just have to use your mic more.
I don't know, like, the problem with my mic is, I usually talk to friends when I play. Or just have some background noise behind me. So I should use push talk more. And, like, I have my push talk button, but, like, I don't usually press it. Like, it's not convenient stuff. But it's fine.
What do you have it set to?
It's on my mouse.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's what the easiest one is set to.
Like, I used to use the original one, and yet it's not.
So here too, as get in the habit of every time you start hearing like an ult, like a Reaper ult, or like a McCree or Soldier ult, look, like the very first thing you need to do is just find them. So right there, look for them, and then immediately boost into them with your DM, because it ends up saving your team. I went back too far.
I sometimes do that. Like, I can't say every time on anything, since like there are times that I forget to do it.
I think you heard it, and that's why you turned, and then I think you lost track of where he was.
No, I think I was looked at the bottom left corner of my screen, since I had 83 health.
So here, at this point, when they're so close, you have to switch to, like, I guess what you're playing is fine because you can get there faster, but because you guys are running, what are you guys running, Hammond or not? Oh yeah, you're not. I'd probably just switch to something like a Winston instead.
I switched Ryan here.
Yes. So I would switch to Winston because you need to get to point faster, and Ryan would not be a good pick because he's so slow. You definitely go Winston because he has more HP, and then he can get there faster to stall. Because now you're just stalling for time.
Like if we pick this fight, it would be better. Dead. So next round.
Prepare to attack. Select your hero.
Here, I think you guys were like in an unfortunate situation because you're the only one who ends up playing tank. But because you're the only one who's playing tank, you shouldn't pick D.Va as D.Va's not a good solo tank.
I know. I probably did that because I was doing like. It might be a bad idea, but like, I probably did that because of what.
Oh, you recorded this with the intention of getting a VOD review.
Yeah. I don't usually record stuff. That's fine.
Last minute check. Everyone squared away? Thank you.
Okay, me doing random stuff again.
All systems operational. Diva.
So this second match, I think you guys only won because your Brigida was popping off.
Yeah, I too thought of that.
She definitely carried the team for you guys.
Yeah. I was typing in some stuff. I don't know, like we didn't have a shield tank. That's why I said it should have happened.
Yeah, you probably should have just switched to Ryan.
Okay, that's
So instead, I think your Brigida's playing main tank, which she should never do. Really, if anything, she should play play off tank.
yeah. Like Brigitte carried that round. Okay. See, that's a failed drop account. Poop attempt. I think.
So it's good right here where you're just you're playing in front of your Bastion because you know your Bastion needs the shield, but you guys don't have a shield tank, so you're just using your body, which is good.
I'll probably say I didn't do that on purpose. It might be instinct or just a random.
It's interesting because you guys are playing Death Ball, but you don't have Death Ball heroes to play.
What does that do? I don't know.
Death Ball, so Death Ball heroes just means like your entire group is playing in a really tight ball, and they just are moving slowly. So like heroes like Reinhardt, Hog, or Zarya, they're forced to kind of play really close. And when you're death balling, it means like you don't really have a widow, but like you would play everybody, like all six people would play in a ball in a really tight circle, and then they would slowly push the cart through. And doing something like that, it just makes it really hard for like the team to like have to engage in you because if they engage, they have to engage all six of you guys instead. So that's what Death Ball is.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you guys are doing right now, even though like you don't have the right heroes to play Death Ball. So that was good. Your Hanzo's kind of overextending a little bit, and you just pushed forward a little bit. Just to, I don't know if your intention was to help him out or just to peek out as well. But that's good on a D.Va. So there too. Let's rewind it a little bit. See, his animation to put his hammer down actually comes a little bit before his voice line, and I think if you were able to pick that out, you can just fly over to him as immediately, just to kind of like shield a little bit. I think like you had just used your matrix though, so that wouldn't have worked, but next time, like if you see that, just boost in with your matrix up, because you could technically eat like a lot of that. You do a lot of body blocking here, which is really good. So you guys just won. This is kind of like what we said earlier. Too, is you guys won after after this like what is this? A Reaper or so? Yeah, Reaper goes down. This is now your job to push forward. You have to play this choke right here, so that you can secure this this cart being pushed all the way back. Because like now you guys are just standing around, and the people who already died, they have time to come down, and you don't want them to reach, you don't want them to stall the point at all. So you want to stand in front as far as possible right before the cart gets there, just to protect your cart and make sure that the cart reaches there with a lot of time left.
Do I die here? No, I don't.
No, you don't.
Thank you.
That's me thinking he overextended.
Yeah, so your Hanzo's overextended a little bit, but that's fine. You just make sure you stand like close to him, or you chose to stand close to Brigitte, which is fine because she's like technically your main tank right now, and she's killing everything.
Yeah.
So here you guys can afford. You guys are like basically on cart, or basically at the point. She's doing the perfect job of standing by their entrance, so you need to do the same, but on this side. You would stand on this side just to body block them from coming out. Like nobody needs to be on the cart except for Bastion at that point.
Score 3-3. Switching sides. Prepare your defenses. Select your hero.
I play to win. Giving you a little
Ideally, somebody would play another healer, or they would go main heals. I mean, main tank. So I know like you guys are you're in like gold right now. I don't know where in gold you're sitting at, but in gold, when you solo queue, there's a lot of times where people just don't want to play the team comps that they do. So what you can do is like your team is running solo heals, then you should definitely practice playing Hog, because Hog can heal himself if anything. You probably could afford to, well, your backline was being harassed, but if they wasn't, you probably could have boosted up to the Widow and harassed them. But it's good to see that you peeled for your backline, because that's exactly what the off tank should be doing. Here, your team basically lost already, so instead of like coming back in here, you need to retreat back because they still have time to push the cart. because where you're sitting is you're not even contesting the cart, so you really either need to die first or just leave.
Okay.
Then I probably would have switched to a main tank here. And then that tire basically saved you guys. You probably could have boosted into the Widow too, but you guys are so close it doesn't matter.
Prepare to attack. Select your hero.
Did I play Ryan in the next one?
Yeah, I think you switched like towards the end or something. Oh, you mean on the next match?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I don't know. Like I was just playing Ryan at one point in this one. Not the time that I died.
Attack commences in 30 seconds.
That's really good. You're able to kill the translocator. I would probably not use the missiles right there, because you need to really spot where people are before you just shoot.
I thought I saw Junkrat there and then tried to use E. Like that Junkrat just dropped and then I was left with uses E.
And then next time when you see like Sombra in the back line, you should probably go back to your back line just to save your team in the back. And here you definitely needed to leave. Like I know you ended up surviving, but it was really risky.
I see.
I would wait for a full regroup before you just go in. Because right now you guys are kind of just feeding, and they have like a full 6. So I would just wait until everybody in your team just respawns and come out of the spawn together. And right here, you're kind of going for the wrong target, right? You're going for Hog. A Hog shouldn't be the first one to die. Hog has the most health. You need to be going for Moira.
And then I die because of it. Yeah, I know. I remember the scene. Okay. In this, some shitty moves there. Like I didn't go for that since I need like that Ana wants to heal me.
Yeah, I mean it's good you didn't go in because you they needed the ult charge more than you would need the health.
But like I think it causes some to me. It's like it took so late.
Yeah, that's where you would need to use your mic. And that was perfect too, is when you heard the tire you just flew up. It gives your Mercy a chance to escape as well. That one I was surprised that you got hacked, since you were like outside of the circle range.
Yeah. I'm probably ulting here. Yeah.
There again, I think that's all you really need to, you just need to start working on boosting in when somebody gets a hook in. This is a hard reset, which just means that when your team is mostly gone, you just need to leave or die.
And these traps, so.
I'm taking care of you. Thanks.
Yeah, I do that. And there's supposed to be something good I made. But like my right now is too aggressive. It's just too aggressive.
Well, on this map, I think it's
Vivo
fine.
still left you, so.
I think on this map it's fine because you guys are like so close to capping. But it's good. You did fall back so that your team can get like regroup. Now this is like a full regroup. You guys just gotta wait.
Why is it loading?
See, in this instance, what are they running? Let's see. In this instance, with like 1 minute left, it's almost like I would almost not want to risk like waiting stalling again. I would just switch to Winston because they have so many squishies on the team.
Best thing to do is just do
They do, but the problem being, I don't play it. That's kind of a problem. Like, if you had time investments, it says 10 minutes or something.
I would just get used to playing other tanks.
Like mine is like 20 hours of Wrecking Ball, 10 hours of Era, and then 76 hours of Diva or something.
Honestly, Winston and Diva are not too they're not too different. And then like the next map actually we can talk deeper about like dive because that's what you guys end up running.
Thank you.
So it's good that you like changed to Ryan because I think you guys just started winning after you guys went to a proper setup.
Oh, that right there made my day.
So this next map, you guys decide to go dive because you're running Diva and Winston. Although, if you guys were playing like a real match, like in like a league match, this is not an ideal setup. You wouldn't run Moira with these two tanks just because if you guys dive somewhere, Moira can't catch up with you. So ideally you would run like Mercy instead of Moira.
The destruction caused by the Omnics here. It reminds me of home.
Why is my PC crashing?
Your PC is crashing?
Keep up with me?
No, it's not. But like, I'm just having some issues here. Okay, go on.
So looking at your team setup here, you have a Moira Zen. I would just understand when you're playing this comp because I know you have no control over your other teammates, but just know that because you guys are running dive and you have no heals to follow you, that you have to escape back to your Moira if you need heals. And then when you guys are running Winston Diva, what I did notice in this map is that you guys don't actually run dive. You guys are playing dive heroes, but you don't run dive. If you're gonna play Winston and Diva, you basically have to be joined at the hip with your Winston. Like anything your Winston is on, you need to be on. It doesn't matter what anybody else is on. But you guys are playing two separate, you guys like, Winston's not even with you right now, I don't even know where he is. And that's why it's really important to communicate with your mic, because then you can coordinate with your Winston, like who you guys are gonna jump. Because that's the whole point of playing Winston and Diva, is that you guys do that together. So like there, your Winston was diving the Mercy. Like ideally, if you had your mech, you would just jump up with him, and then you both would be attacking Mercy instead of just one person on a Mercy. And she would just die much faster than she did there, and then your next target would be Pharah. But whoever called to go to point was wrong, because you guys they only had like one person. You guys all fell to point, and you guys just lost this entire front line. The team is like, their team is just trekking through this. They just went past this choke, right? I think they go through this way. There's already somebody right here. But you guys all left, which gives them that advantage of walking through. So again, you don't have a mech. You haven't had a mech in a while. You really need to tell your Mercy to like just damage boost you so you can get your mech faster. It's good that you told your team to come back with you. Yeah, your Winston's down, so you guys really have to play careful. I would actually go back to the point where, yeah, just like that. I think this is like the part where you like barely survived, but you somehow clutched with your ult. You stalled it just enough time for your other main tank to come back, which is really good. But it's a really risky play.
Yes.
It's good that you're using the card as a shield.
Yeah. I know that's smart.
Yeah, so like you did DM'd it, but you make sure you like boost up into Pharah when she does that.
Okay, just one. Do I die? No. Yeah. No. Okay.
That was
I
a
like this.
yeah, that was like a useless orb on their part. It's just charging you guys more. So like there, you and your Winston are like almost in sync, but your Winston left, and then you're like the only one dealing with the Rhine.
This is a bad play.
Yeah, this is where you probably should have pressed your mech. Oh, there you go. Yeah, you probably shouldn't have risked that. Your Winston survived with like 5 HP for like a good 2 minutes though. So with like this much time, it's good that your team is pushing forward. It just prevents them from coming in more.
Is running dive on defense actually useful?
No, it's not. That's a good point. I forgot to mention that when I was watching it. Yeah, it's not unless you're super coordinated. It's really risky to run dive on defense on that particular map because they're sorry. They're usually like coming through that choke as a group together, so like there's nothing for you to dive. You can dive into it, but then you're gonna die. So it's usually not okay. Like you should probably avoid playing dive on defense on this map. So here you guys are playing 2 off tanks. You guys are, somebody just went Zara. Oh, Hammond was still kind of 2 off tanks. You guys still pulled it off because you guys had like time. But I would probably go Ryan instead. And this Doom was very foolish. This was risky. You basically committed suicide here.
Why that?
You caused a good enough distraction, but that was really, really like, if your team wasn't like being distracted, like going in the back, you probably would have just died. I think that was it. I don't think you have like anything else here, but on Diva, I'd say like your main 3 issues would be the things that you need to improve on is to DM or to recognize ults and hooks fast enough to boost and DM into. That's 1. And then 2 would be to work with your main tank more. So you either, depending on who your main tank is, you want to play more with your main tank, and then only like not play with your main tank when you have to peel for your healers. And your 3rd is definitely to use your mic more.
I don't know. Pretty good stuff.
Do you have any questions or anything?
No.
Okay. Well, feel free to send me anything else you have. Turnaround time is pretty fast.
Alright, I will.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing this.
Yeah,
Spending time.
no problem.